Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Okay, all right, that's the bell. So here we go. So press pause, do the do now. All right, use a calculator, and then we'll come back and go over it. Okay, all right. So let's see. So now here we got a triangle. All right, so it's a bit of a throwback. So what's the area of a triangle? What's the formula? Yep, base times height. What? Yep, divided by 2, right? So that means we got 15.7 times 8.5 divided by 2. Now let me grab my calculator, see what it says. 15.7 plus 8.5 divided by 2, that's 12.1. Okay, all right. So 12, did I say 12.1? Okay, all right, 12.1. All right, so let's see, 12.1. All right, and I didn't give you the unit, so okay. All right, let's see, Unit 8, Day 21. Today's June 2nd. Homework's on the website, obviously. Quiz is due today by 3 p.m. All right. Let's see. Okay, all right. Okay, I keep forgetting to cross this out. Let's see. For background music. So let's see. I mentioned this last week briefly. All right, I'll say it one more time real quick. You don't have to email me whenever you make up homework from now on. Okay, because every time you do homework, I'm gonna get a notification in my email that tells me that you did the homework. So, okay, so that's gonna save you some time. All right, and I don't have to go everywhere looking for it. All right, I'm gonna email the grades. I'm shooting this video on a Monday, so that means by the time you watch this video, I've already emailed the grades to your parents. Okay, so the way I did it too is what I did this time, all right, which is unprecedented, is to show your parents what your grade would look like if the marking period ended today or yesterday. Okay, meaning like what I also did was I not only did I show them not only did I show them what your grade is so far in the fourth marking period, but I'm also showing them what your final grade would be if today was the last day of school. Okay, is that clear? Now, on the report card, this final grade doesn't show up it doesn't say final grade actually. On your report card, at least traditionally, you know how like you get 4 report cards a year, right? So there are 4 marking periods. So MP1, MP2, MP3, marking period 4, right? The 4 report cards. Usually, right, in the old days, whenever you get the last report card, the MP4, it actually also tells you your final average. So it's gonna say MP5. So what it does not mean is you have a 5th report card. What it does mean is that this number, the MP5, is your final grade. Okay, so I think I made it very clear to your parents on the email. It's just I never got a chance to tell you guys that. So how do you get this grade? You add these 4 numbers up, and then you divide it by 4. In other words, to get this final grade, I'm taking the average of your 4 report cards, and that will come up with this number. Okay, now, having said that, this number, right, corresponds to the grading policy. Oh, I never show you this? Wait, what? Wait, what? So the final grading policy, okay, I guess I didn't tell you. That's impossible. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know why. All right. So in this final grading policy, if you got between this number here, if you got between an 85 and 100, you will receive a code. It's called MT. So MT stands for meeting standards, which means you did your job, you learned what you had to learn, all right, and you're good to go into the 7th grade. If you got a grade between, what was it, 75? No, actually, hold on. Let me double check. Hold on. Oh, no, it's not 85. Oops, 75. That's why. oops, all right, correction. If you got between a 75 and 100, all right, you're good to go. You're ready for the 7th grade. If you got between a 65 and a 74, the code will be letter N, and it means needs improvement. All right, again, all your parents know about this already. All right. So, and then anything less than a 65, we call that an NX. All right, which means, what does it mean? It means, it means incomplete, actually. Or like course, no, not exactly. It means course in progress. So what it's saying is you still need, your course is not complete. I mean, it's in progress, but you didn't finish the course yet. All right. So now I don't 100% know what this means here. If you get an NX, okay, even though like actually as it stands right now, like no one is getting this, by the way. Like everyone in class has done enough work. Either all of you, actually either most of you have done enough work in marking period 4 to not have to worry about this, all right, or that your grades from the first 3 marking periods it's high enough so that you guys don't have to worry about this. So for like, I mean, let me think. Yeah, for 100% of you, like this is not a problem. Okay. Now that said, as I'm reviewing your grades right now, not right now, I'm making a video. As I'm looking at your grades in the past week, all right, and this is for those of you whose grades are somewhere around here. A lot of your classwork and homework grades, right? Those are pretty much the same things. It's like a lot of you have like high like 92 or like 80s, right? And my advice for you is it would be great if you could make up the last missing like 2 homeworks that you guys have and bring that up to 100. Okay? And the reason why I'm telling you that is because there's just something different, right? About getting 100 versus like a 92, right? And I think for a lot of you, your ability to approach 100 is very high, okay? Especially because your homework and classwork, it's all about effort, right? 80% of your grade comes from classwork and homework. So if at all possible, then you know what? Go for the 100. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really gonna help you. All right. So what else do I have to tell you? If you're watching this, all right, and you're missing a lot of homework, make it up. Like, oh, that's the next thing. So in 2 weeks, all right, I'm going to send an email out to your parents. That would be the last time I'm gonna do that. So the grade that you see in 2 weeks, those will be your final grade for the year. Okay, so in other words, like there's a timeline that's looming over all of us. Okay, and that's in 2 weeks. So if you're missing work, make it up within actually even this week. Don't wait till next week, okay? Because I'm sure some of you have work to make up in the other classes too. So don't, and I would consider math homework to be fairly well, it's not difficult. Let's just put it that way, right? You guys know. So yeah, try to get every missing assignment. All right. So that in that way you'll get 100 for sure for classwork and homework, and then your quizzes and exams they're worth 20%. It's not much, right? So try to drive that grade up as high as possible. Okay, all right. So what else do I have to tell you? So that's in 2 weeks. You see your grades. That's it. Okay, all right. How are we doing on time? Okay, all right. 10 minutes. Okay, so let's have a 10-minute lesson, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and then we'll end it today. All right. So yesterday, right? Was it? Yeah, yesterday. Right, Monday. I show you what we're going to do next. Okay. So by the way, so when you get your quiz on Friday, some of your questions are gonna derive from parallelogram, because I don't know if you noticed, but I did not quiz you guys on parallelograms on the quiz last week. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm gonna maybe do one triangle question, one square, one rectangle question, one trapezoid, and then one parallelogram or two parallelogram, and then the rest is what we're doing this week. Okay. I also put a tutorial video up online on the blog, so the tutorial goes over all of these shapes. So if you want to watch them one last time, just to have a nice way to summarize whatever you learned in this unit so far, that's a good way to go. Okay, all right, here we go. So I already previewed to you last week that we're going to solve these, we're going to figure out what these weird shapes are in terms of area, right? But we need to take baby steps first. So write this down, okay? So today we're doing complex composite figures. And so now you don't have to copy anything. I mean, it's very, there's kind of no point. Now, having said that, look at this shape, right? Now, obviously, this is not any sort of regular, polygon, right? So in other words, what I'm saying is there's no name for this. So there's no point trying to name it. And what that means is there's no point looking at a formula. Now, if you were to look at this, right, let's say one box represents one unit. What's the area here? Right, you can count, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's 4, right? Now, if I were to say, hey, could you break this shape up into two shapes that you would recognize? What would you do? Yeah, you would you could break the shape up like this, right? So now you have two rectangles. And then what you could say is, right, the area is this rectangle, which is base times height, right? That's 2. And this rectangle is base times height, which is 2. When you put 2 and 2 together, you get 4. Okay, right? Again, I'm starting off with some really easy questions. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence here. Now, likewise, if we look at this figure here, right? I know you can count the boxes, so if you want to, we can count that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, so that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Right? Square units. However, you could say, well, I'm going to break this shape down into two shapes that I recognize, right? That's the go. If you gotta break it down, don't break it down like this and then try to look for a formula. There's no formula for this, right? So what you need to do is to break it down to two shapes again that you recognize. Which two shapes do you recognize? This one, right? So here again, you got one rectangle. Here you got a second rectangle. Right? So what does that mean? Right? So again, base, which is 6, right, times 3, that's 18. Doesn't matter. Base times height doesn't matter. Base times height is 8, right? So let's see if the second method works. 18 plus 8. Yep, 26. Yep. Okay, that works. All right. So with that said, press pause and then try these two. And then what I'm going to do is go over these with you. Okay? All right. So, all right, press pause. Okay, here. Now, the only way I could do that is with this. Right? So here I got a rectangle and a square. Right? So this is a rectangle. So what's the area formula for a rectangle? Again, base times height. So that's 6. Boy, by the way, notice the way I'm writing this, right? I label the sides, and then inside in parentheses, I write down the area. Okay, I'm not doing that for no reason. Here we got a square. So square is the side times the side, right? 1 times 1. That's 1. So 6 plus 1, 7. Okay. All right. Now, this one's interesting. So I hope that you understand while you're trying, you can just do two different shapes. So that you can't go like that. You can't go like this and then say, well, I got to find these two shapes. Right? It doesn't work like that. So what I'm trying to say is that there are actually 3 different shapes. Okay. And you could do it 2 ways. One is you can go like this. So now what you have is you have one rectangle, a big rectangle, and a little square. Okay, that's the first way of doing it. So the first way of doing it, you will get 2 times 1, that's 2, right? 1 times 1, that's 1, and then base, what is that? That's 5 times 2, that's 10, and then you add the 3, which makes that 13. Right, got that? Second way of doing it, by the way, if I'm going a little too fast for you, feel free to rewind, okay, and watch this. Okay, now the second way to break this shape down into 3 different shapes is this. Look, you see that? So now I got a rectangle, a medium-sized square, and then like a very long, narrow rectangle. See that? Okay. So let's see, what is that? That's 2 by 3, so that's 6. That's 2 by 2, right? That's 4. That's 1 by 3. That's 3. Again, 6 plus 4 plus 3, 13. Same thing. Okay. Now we have to graduate to the next level. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at this shape, right? So this shape here, now I don't know if you noticed, right? So we have a issue here. How is this question different from these 4 questions that we've just done? Did you notice? How are these questions different from these 3 new ones? Yeah, it's not on graph paper, so don't try to count. Okay, there's nothing to count here. Like there are no boxes inside this polygon, right? So don't try to count anything. But what you can do is you could take the skills that you learned here, right? You see how we split them up into separate shapes that we actually like recognize? We can do that though. So watch this. So here we can do this 2 ways, and then I gotta stop because I think we're gonna run out of time. Okay, so now here we could go 1 way. We could go like this. All right, so the first way would look something like this. All right, so here we got a first rectangle, so first way. All right, first way, second way. Okay, so the area, right? So first way is to go like this. So here we got the area of 2 rectangles, right? So 6 times 11 is 66. Let's see now. This is interesting. Here you got 3, right? But here's the thing. 3 times what though? Right? Because this is not 10. This is not 10. Oh, what did I just do? I didn't do the line. Ay. Like this is not 10. This is 10. So here's the question. Now you gotta like, think on your feet. What should this be then? If this is 10, how long should this little red line be? Do you guys know? All right, I'm gonna help you out if you can't see it. All right, so this is why it's nice to have this program. Should I use a different color? Yeah. So watch this. If this is 10, doesn't that mean that this is 10 also? Now, hopefully this helps you rather than like makes it more confusing. So if this thing is 10, this part is 6. what's left here? Yeah, this part is 4, right? But doesn't that mean that if I bring this down, this would also be 4? You guys see that, right? Look, here this whole thing is 10, right? Now, that's 6, so that means this is 6, right? This part right here. So if this is 10, if this whole thing is 10, if this is 6, what does that make this part? Yeah, 4, right? So, okay, so now we can keep doing the math. 4 times 3, that's 12. So the first one is 66 plus 12. All right, what is that? 78. By the way, if you have a question, like I'll say by the end of tomorrow, if you have a question on doing these, let me know. Give me specific questions. All right, so like, I don't know, take a screenshot and say, Mr. Ng, like, can you go over this question again? I'll make a video just to go over it for you guys. Like, I don't mind, okay? But I need to know if you don't understand something, okay? Now, that's the first way, right? So let me erase all of that and look at it a second way. So I'm gonna have to erase all these lines. So let me press pause, okay? I don't want to waste your time. All right, so I cleaned it up. All right, the second way. Now, the second way is to go like this. Right, the first way I drew that little red line here, right? Here we're gonna draw a bigger red line like this. So look, now what do we got? It looks like we got either a square and then a rectangle, right? Or 2 rectangles, right? Now, this is actually a rectangle, all right? Do you guys know why? Think about it, right? If this is 10 and that's 3, I know that this is 30. Right? That's the easy part. Here's the thing. I know that this is 6, right? Here's the question. How long is this line right here? So again, let me use this. So again, the question is, how long is this line right here that I just drew in blue? How long is this? Right? Because if I know this, I would know this. So how long? So this whole thing's 11. This little one here is 3. So how long is this side? What's left here? So think of it like this, right? Here I got the 2 lines. Here's 11. Right? This is 11. If this is 3, what's left here? Yeah, that's right. 8, right? So let me write that in. So this is 8. Got that, right? Because the 8 here plus the 3 here is just as long as 11. So 8 times 6, what's 8 times 6? 48. All right, so 48 plus 30 is 78. Same answer, right? Which is necessary. Like you can't split these shapes up in different ways and then get different answers. Like that's not how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here. All right. Now I know that some of you right now might be concerned because you're thinking, Mr. Ng, I really don't understand this first one. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna ask that you exercise some patience for 1 day. Okay, so wait 1 day. All right, so wait 1 day. Tomorrow we're gonna go over a couple more, like 3, at least 3 more. Okay, actually many more of these. All right, tomorrow we're gonna go over some. All right, if you learned it and understand it by then, perfect. If you don't, all right, tomorrow after the lesson, email me, tell me, like take a screenshot, okay, of which question that you don't understand, all right, and tell me, and I'll be more than happy to make a video just going over that question. Okay, it's not a problem at all. And then I'll post it. And again, of course, I'm not going to say like who you are. Okay, so I'm not going to say like, Johnny, like just email me this question. I'm not going to do that. All right, I'm just going to say I have a student. All right, I have a student who has a question about this. I figure the rest of, so many of you that would want to see this. So I'm making a video. Okay, and I'll post it up separately. All right, that's it. Okay, all right, I really got to end this because I think I probably ran over the 20 minutes already. So, okay. All right. I'll leave it here. And thanks for watching. All right. Do your homework and have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Don't tell me you don't miss that bell.
OMG, that was so good.